What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another high altitude investing live stream. Today is the 26th of September, 26th. I don't know why that's hard for me to say right now. 26th, 6. You guys know what I mean. And yeah, I'm excited to do a YouTube live stream, talk about crypto as I always do. And let me get my link shared on X and on Discord, and we'll get started here. Happy Friday. I know it's later in the day. Normally I do these earlier in the day, like 10 a.m. usually. But hey, had some stuff I was doing today. Been modding my Nintendo Wii, which is pretty fun to do. A lot of people don't play the Wii anymore, but I have two original Wiis, and I've been modding them and playing them with my nephews and nieces, and it's been really fun. So what is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Let's start off here on Bitcoin, and we'll go into some other coins. So we did pull back a little bit here on Bitcoin. In my last live stream, I talked about how that was 100% possible, especially if the daily candlestick closed bearish. That daily candlestick did close bearish, and we came all the way back down to 108,000. Now, this is kind of a point where a lot of people are going to start flipping bearish right here. There's going to be a lot of people that change their view on the markets and switch bearish down here just because of this correction that we saw back down to support. But in my last live stream, I warned you guys, hey, the markets might crash, and when they do, everybody's going to flip bearish, but don't flip bearish because it's going to be a perfect buying opportunity, and I still hold true to that, and I still firmly believe that this is a really good opportunity to be picking up more crypto here. Tiger King, what is up, my friend? Thank you for tuning in to today's live stream. So yeah, the correction happened, and we are on support right now. Everybody's going to be bearish. You're going to see a lot of people bearish on crypto right now. So you just got to ignore that. You got to ignore all the FUD, ignore all the people that switched around and they're all flipping their analysis and they're all switching bearish. The time to be bearish on crypto was right here, you guys. That was the time to be bearish. And now we've corrected. We pulled back onto support. So this is not the time to be switching bearish. If you wanted to be bearish, you should have been bearish last week, right? You should have been bearish up here at 117,000 when we started to reject right there and it was looking weak and the market pulled back. But now we're on support, and the worst thing that you can do is sell major support, especially considering how much support that we have right here. Look how many areas of support we have. We have resistance up here that became support right here, and we're on that same area of support. So this is a huge area of confluence, a big area where the whales are going to be picking up more crypto at these levels. They're going to be buying more. So I believe Bitcoin will see a strong reaction off of this support level and start to go back up through our local resistance at 118,000 and eventually above our old all-time high that we made in August, right? Up to a new all-time high. So that's what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. And that's what I see coming for pretty much the whole market. As you guys know, crypto follows itself. And so pretty much if something is going to be bullish on Bitcoin, then you can expect the total crypto market cap also to follow Bitcoin. You can expect all of your favorite altcoins to follow Bitcoin. It's pretty straightforward. I don't have to explain that too much. Most of you guys know that crypto follows itself, and so when Bitcoin looks bullish, you can expect everything to go up. And when Bitcoin is bearish, then everything's going to follow Bitcoin down. Tech Dude says, let's win together. Buy the fear. I agree 100%, Tech Dude. The people that win in crypto are the people that buy the fear. It's so simple, so easy. People only make trading and investing hard because they overthink it. They trade with their emotions. They invest because of fear or greed, and then they lose money. But essentially, trading is actually extremely simple, extremely easy, and the best trading strategies are simple and easy. The most powerful strategies, not only in trading, but also if you think about life in general, the quickest way from 2 points is a straight line, right? So the simplest solution is usually the right one. I believe it's called Occam's razor. Occam's razor. I don't know how to spell that. Occam's razor is a philosophical principle stating that among competing explanations, the one with the fewest assumptions is most likely to be true. So the simplest explanation is scientifically, this is a principle that we've discovered called Occam's razor, that the simplest solution is usually the best. And that's why I always tell people, yes, you need to know your Elliott waves, you need to know your Fibonacci, you need to know your market cycles, you need to understand volume, but you don't need to have 30 indicators on your chart, and you don't need to be looking at the news, and you don't need to keep it simple. Yeah, you do have to learn a handful of specific tools, but once you know how to use those tools and you know how to use them in conjunction with each other, you can keep your trading strategy very simple, and that's what's going to make you the most money. That's why my trading strategy is based on Elliott waves, Fibonacci, trading patterns, volume analysis, support and resistance. Yeah, there's I can count 5 or 6 things, that I use on fractals, I use on a consistent basis, but it's only those 5 or 6 things that I'm using over and over again in a very simple trading strategy. And I like to use the MACD too, is really the only other thing that I use in my trading. And if you go look at other people that know what they're talking about when it comes to trading and investing, they use a couple very simple, powerful strategies. And that's it. So study Occam's razor. If you want to do some homework this week, go watch a YouTube video or something about Occam's razor. It's kind of cool. So anyways, the total crypto market cap is on major support. What used to be resistance back here has now become support over here. The worst thing that you can do is sell support. Unless you get a clear breakdown, then yeah, you can sell support because it broke, and then you can look for a new support level to buy at, right? But if you're on support, selling is an emotional choice that you're making. It's not a logical, grounded decision. And we're on major support right now with the total crypto market cap. Cuss77 says pulse chain TA, please. Yeah, I can do some pulse chain analysis for you guys today. WPLS. Let's pull up Wrapped Pulse here and do a little analysis on good old pulse chain. So I posted about this on my X account. I see a big opportunity here in pulse chain because of this huge falling wedge pattern. We have a big falling wedge here on pulse chain. We broke bullish out of this falling wedge. I drew this little green line going down a little bit right here, and the market did indeed go just a little bit lower here. But now we're on horizontal support for pulse chain as well. So not only on the total crypto market cap in Bitcoin, but also here on pulse chain, we have a major horizontal support level that we're testing right now. And I believe because we broke bullish out of this downward trending resistance right here, you see this, we'll make it red. We broke bullish out of that, and we came back down and tested support. I believe this is the beginning of something very big for pulse chain, where we will see a big bullish breakout here all the way up to a new all-time high, and really start to moon. This is a huge consolidation accumulation pattern. All of this price action that we've seen since 2023 until today is a big accumulation. We broke bullish out of the resistance of the downward trending line, and now we're really ready for a big bullish breakout all the way to a new all-time high. So I believe big things are coming for Pulse Chain. Dallin, what are you actively buying? Dogecoin. If you guys want to know what I've been putting my money into, Dogecoin is one of the things. 2 days ago, I bought some Dogecoin. I believe Dogecoin will really do good. But all of the videos that I talk about on my channel, all of the stuff that I'm posting in my VIP, so Tiger King, you know, because you're a moderator, so you get to see all the VIP stuff. Those are coins that I truly believe in. Those are coins that I firmly believe are going to go up a lot in value, and buying those coins are going to reward you financially in a significant way. So Pump.Fun, you know, Dogecoin, XRP, Theta, all the coins that I talk about on my X account, my YouTube channel, and in the VIP area, those are all coins that I believe are going to really do good. So you can buy those with confidence. And my number one goal with my business, with my YouTube channel, my number one goal is drive customer and viewer customer and viewer, oh my goodness, screwing up on the keyboard, results. Okay, so that's my number one goal, you guys. When I make my videos, when I do my live streams, my number one goal is driving, not driver, put an R, drive customer and viewer results. So I want people to make money. And that's my number one goal. If I can spend time with somebody, that's why I've done free Zoom calls with people that were previous one-on-one members that aren't paid members anymore, that their 12 weeks is up. I'll still, even if their 12 weeks is up, sometimes I'll hop on a call with them to make sure that they're ready for what's coming, right? Because my number one goal is to drive customer and viewer results. So I talk about all the coins that I personally firmly believe in, that I believe will do very big gains and that people will make money buying. I'm not paid to cover any of these coins. I don't get promotion money from anybody. These are coins I really believe in, and that's my number one goal. So you can trust the videos that I'm posting on my channel about various coins and trust that I really believe those coins are going to go up. And that's Dogecoin is one of those coins that I believe will do very big percentage gains, you know. And there's a reason why I have a goal of driving customer and viewer results. It's because the more money that you guys make, the better it is for my business. So yes, I want to see you guys succeed, but there's also an aspect of the fact that I make more money when you guys make more money. So it's a win-win for everybody. And that's another principle that I base my business on, is the win-win principle. If I can win and another person can win, I'm going to do that thing. But if I win and another person loses, I won't do that thing. Or if both of us lose, I won't do that thing. So I make decisions based on the win-win principle, where if both people win, I do it. But if it's only one person winning, or if both people lose, it's not worth my time to participate in whatever thing that I'm doing. So I gauge my activities based on that. Am I going to do this thing? Well, is it something that's going to make me win and the customer win? Then I'll do it. And there's a really good book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey, and I highly recommend reading this book. As you guys know, I've talked a lot about different books, but this is one of my favorite all-time books. Highly recommend you read this book. It's on Audible. Super good book. Totally worth every penny. And he talks about the win-win principle in that book. Another really good book, I'm going to talk about 2 books here. Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale. This is a really, really good book. Highly recommend. There's a free PDF, but I like to listen to it on Audible over and over again. Really, really, really good book. Lead the Field by Earl Nightingale. He'll teach you how to think about running a business or whatever you want to do. It's how to lead the field, whatever field you're in. Really, really, really good book. And the other book is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, which is based on the Bible verse in Proverbs that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And that's in Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7, or 23, verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. And this book is it's like a little pamphlet. It's 50 minutes long. You can listen to it on YouTube here. I like this one by Master Key Society, where it's only 50 minutes. You can listen to it over and over and over again like I do. Really powerful book. James Allen was a brilliant writer. You can go study great men throughout history, and you're going to find a lot of people that have read this exact book, like really, really intelligent people. People that changed the face of the world, like Steve Jobs, and even a lot of people. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and a lot of like the prophets and apostles have read this book. So it's a really, really good book. I highly recommend it. If you want intelligence and knowledge, go read those 3 books, and you'll get way smart. Dallin, I already read that one. Clarity Act coming. Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that. I don't research it enough, so please send me some information on Discord. I would love to learn more about the Clarity Act and exactly what's happening there. That would be awesome. Matt Osty, what is up, my friend? Thank you for tuning in. And yes, everybody, smash up the likes. Definitely listen to Matt, who is telling you to smash up the likes in the live chat. Thank you, man. Thoughts on Pump and coins that launched using their platform. Pump meme coins have been selling off a lot this year. Yeah, so everything, the beginning of this year, we had a big correction in the entirety of the crypto markets. And Bitcoin has recovered because it always leads the market. But the altcoins have not fully recovered yet. You can see it here with Doge, right? Last year, we were making a lot of money when Dogecoin pumped right here. Super fun, super profitable times. But the beginning of this year, we had a huge correction. So 2025 has been slow. It's just the truth, I think a lot of people expected 2025 to be a lot more bullish than it has been. I know I was expecting a faster recovery than we've seen. But what this really tells us is that the end of this year, I think we're going to see a strong run, especially in December. And we're going to start to see the recovery. I believe even in this month, we'll start to see a recovery. But 2026 is going to be crazy for crypto, including coins launched on Pump.fun. Even old meme coins that people think are dead are going to blow up and go crazy. I think 2026 is going to be an astronomically bullish year for crypto. So yeah, 2025 has been more of a grind to get through. Maybe not quite as crazy profitable as 2024 was, especially to the end of the year where we made a lot of money here in crypto really quickly. Altcoins haven't fully recovered yet. And when they do, when they break out and when they fully recover, it's going to be like 2024 in October and November, but it's going to be even faster, even bigger, and even more parabolic because it's going to be a big wave 3 on a lot of these altcoins. It's going to be insane. New all-time highs on a lot of coins. Very profitable. So get ready for a big year coming up. Again, I know it's been a little slower this year, but patience is rewarded in crypto. And if you persist through the hard times, when it gets bullish, it was all worth it 100 times over. So I firmly believe we've got big things coming in crypto. Wow, we've got a lot of people tuning in today. My viewer count is going to the moon like crypto is going to go to the moon soon. But yeah, I am bullish on Pump. So definitely an exciting project. A lot of reasons to be bullish on Pump Coin and even a lot of the coins on their platform. I have my own coin on Pump.fun, so a little shout out. I was streaming on there today. And it's down right now quite a bit. I haven't sold anything. I'm not going to sell anything. My plan for this coin is not to just make a pump and dump that just dies, but my plan is to steadily, consistently post on here. I was streaming today. It hasn't showed up because I don't know if I closed the stream properly. My phone glitched. But I'm going to keep consistently streaming on here. Even if it's not every day, I'm going to keep streaming on here. And it's going to be a more steady growth, just like what's happening on my YouTube channel, where I have steady growth happening over there. But Pump Coin is really, it's a good setup, you guys. If you don't know about Pump.fun coin, this is a good setup. We have a clear double bottom here, which turned into a wave 3. We have a 4 wave. Get ready for a big 5th wave on this thing. And it's going to be glorious. It's going to be a big pump for this coin. And I'm very bullish on this coin. We're oversold on smaller time frames. Like if you go down to the 12 hour here, you can see we're very oversold on the MACD. This thing looks good. There's a lot of reasons to be bullish on Pump.fun. And I would start going over some other coins, but that one's actually VIP. Pump.fun is technically a VIP signal, but screw it. I guess I talked about it anyways. But yeah, it's an exciting time for crypto. Even if you're not excited like when it's pumping, it's still an exciting time if you have the right mindset, because buying during these fearful times really, really pays off. AC says, hi, Dallin. Thanks for the update at Australian friendly time zone. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thank you for tuning in. Connie K. Yom says, what is your take on FTM that became Sonic? I bought FTM because of you, and now it went to shiz. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And I would definitely keep it. Don't sell. I know there's times where your faith has to be tested. Like I said, 2025 has not been favorable for altcoins, but that does not mean that your favorite altcoins won't become favorable. This is a downward pointing channel. This is a very common consolidation pattern for Sonic, and I believe we will see a reversal soon for this coin. Let's check the 12 hour here. We're very, very oversold on the 12 hour. And this thing is going to turn around soon. This is a very common thing for crypto to do. If you've ever seen, Bitcoin is a really good example of this, actually. Let's pull up Bitcoin in 2018 here. Bitcoin did the same thing here in 2018. See, here's Bitcoin in 2018. We had this downward pointing channel with a big final sell-off, a big final shakeout here. You can see this right here, where Bitcoin went from 6,000 per coin down to 3,000. That's exactly what Sonic just did. So that's a pretty common thing for crypto to do, to have these big shakeouts. So yeah, you can sell if you want to. You can do whatever you want with your coins. But I wouldn't. I'd keep holding. I'd keep buying. I'd keep holding on, because you're going to be rewarded for it if you have the patience to hold on. Look what happened to Bitcoin after that consolidation finished. Yeah, it did a double bottom. So it came all the way up here, came back down, and then it mooned. See right here on Bitcoin? So Sonic could do something similar. It could do something very similar to Bitcoin in 2019 here, where it goes parabolic and then rejects in 2020 and then moons again in 2021. You know, so I believe, and this is on a smaller time scale, so you're talking about this could all happen before the end of the year. By December, we could be going parabolic, just like how Bitcoin was going parabolic in 2021. So I'd keep holding on to it. Not every coin is going to take off right when you think it's going to. You're going to buy some coins that take longer. Even if they look bullish, sometimes you're wrong in the short term. You just have to keep holding on. The people that lose are the people that sell. So that's what I would do personally, Connie. Let's see here. What's your thoughts about ASTER? You know, I was looking at that just yesterday because that coin is going nuts. Apparently, this is a big deal. It's a lot like Apex. So, if you guys don't know, Apex is a place that you can trade. You can trade crypto on Apex. It's a decentralized derivatives like leverage trading exchange, apex.exchange. This is where I do my leverage trading. If I'm going to do leverage trading, this is where I do it. And Aster, ASTER, I believe this is what it is, if I remember right. Yeah, it's a decentralized exchange. So you can deposit your crypto on here, and you can take leverage longs and leverage short positions and trade the markets all completely decentralized. So this is cool. I see why it's doing so good. And just by looking at the chart right now, we have hidden bullish divergence. So that's where the price makes a higher low. So we have our low right here and a higher low right here. We have a low and a higher low. And the MACD made a lower low, so that's hidden bullish divergence. And this is actually super steep. Do you see how steep that angle is here on the MACD? You can actually, sometimes it's easier to take off the histogram and just look at the lines, and you can see how steep that hidden bullish divergence on Aster is. So this, I know it's up a lot, but it really just got started. Like, this can go a lot higher. Even though it's up quite a bit in the past week, it can still go higher. You don't ever want to underestimate the power of people's excitement, of hype, of a strong uptrend, especially if there's hidden bullish divergence like this. This is exactly what I was talking about with Binance. If you guys go look at Binance coin, this is exactly what I was looking at with Binance when I posted that Binance was bullish right here. We got to pull up the BNB dollar chart, not the Bitcoin chart. Pull it up right here. So yeah, when Binance was right here, you guys, before we had this big pump on Binance, I was talking about the hidden bullish divergence. So we have a low right here and a higher low right here. And we have a low right here and a lower low right there. So that's hidden bullish divergence here on Binance coin. And I spotted this when it was like right here before this pump happened. And you can see the power of hidden bullish divergence. Look how much the market has gone up. It went up like 70% just because of that hidden bullish divergence. And so you got to understand these different signals that can pop up on the chart. The MACD, there's a reason that big institutions use the MACD. It's one of the most powerful indicators that there is. Way more useful than the RSI, although the RSI has its place and time. Most of the time, 99% of the time, I'm only using the MACD because that's what the big institutions use, and there's a reason for it. It's a super powerful, simple indicator that can change your life. So the MACD is this thing down here on the bottom, and it's really powerful. And in the big picture here with Binance coin, you can see we broke out of this triangle right here. We have a big uptrend forming. And I know it looks like there's no volume here, but if you were to go to charts.cointrader.pro and look at Binance on coinmarketcap.com, where it pulls across all of the different exchanges, you're going to get a lot more accurate representation of trading volume since it's not on only one exchange. And if you look over here, look how much trading volume there is, right? So on tradingview.com, you have to be aware that volume is not always accurate. If you go to coinmarketcap.com or charts.cointrader.pro, where it connects to coinmarketcap.com, you can get a much more accurate representation of trading volume. And we have a lot of trading volume here on Binance. This thing is a huge uptrend that just started. It's going to go a lot higher. I can pretty much guarantee it. And same is true for Aster. I believe this thing is just getting started. You can leverage trade it on their platform. You can also leverage trade a whole bunch of other coins here on asterdex.com. Super cool. Even if you're in the United States where it's hard to do leverage trading, on these decentralized platforms like Apex or Aster, you can trade. You can trade on these platforms even in the US where the regulations are a pain to work around for leverage traders. So that's my view on Aster. Thoughts on USD? Is gold leading Bitcoin? Gold has been historically leading Bitcoin this entire bull market, which is how we were able to call Bitcoin going up to 100K when it was only worth 60K. And people were wondering if we were going to double top. I saw a lot of people posting double top charts and calling for 14K again. And a lot of people were just being really stupid during that period of time. And the reason that over here at High Altitude Investing we were able to call the pump on Bitcoin was because we were looking at the fact that gold was doing the same pattern and leading the market, and that Bitcoin would follow, and that's exactly what happened. So let's pull up the correct gold chart, one with all of the historical data. This has got to be it. There we go. I mean, look how bullish this is. Isn't that crazy how bullish gold is? That's what happens when you make a big cup and handle pattern. Look how perfect this cup and handle pattern is on gold. Think of what's coming for silver, you guys. Silver has an even bigger cup and handle that it made. So let's pull up Bitcoin on the right, and we'll keep gold over here on the left. This is how we were able to call. So this whole pump on Bitcoin all the way up to over 100K. If you go back and watch my videos in 2024 when Bitcoin was pulling down to 50K right here, you'll see a lot of this exact chart because I was basically comparing Bitcoin to gold over and over and over again, calling for a big breakout on Bitcoin because of the same cup and handle that gold had already formed. So gold was like right here at that time, or like right here, I guess I should say, at that time, and Bitcoin was right here. And so gold was leading the breakout, but it was doing the same cup and handle as Bitcoin. It's just Bitcoin hadn't pumped yet. So do I believe that gold is leading the breakout? 100%. Gold is definitely leading the breakout. Bitcoin is more volatile, so you'll see gold had corrections along the way up right here, but Bitcoin had bigger corrections. Bitcoin is way smaller in terms of market capitalization than gold. Gold has a much bigger total market cap. It's more established. So its volatility is less, but it's doing the same patterns. So Bitcoin is doing the same patterns as gold, but gold is less volatile than Bitcoin. So expect more volatility in Bitcoin, but you are going to see the same structure, and gold is definitely leading the pump. And I think, personally, based on just kind of eyeballing these fractal comparisons, which you'd be surprised how much money I've made just eyeballing fractals. This right here, this correction right here on gold, I believe this cross-correlates to this correction right here on Bitcoin. So gold is breaking out right now, and Bitcoin, I believe, is getting ready for another big breakout. It's the same chart, just more volatile essentially, and happening faster too. But that's how we were able to call this whole pump right here on Bitcoin from 50K all the way up to 100,000 plus was because it looked exactly like gold. And I remember telling people, you guys are idiots if you sell your Bitcoin here. When it was at 50K and people were calling for 30K or even 14K, a double bottom, they were calling for really low targets. I explicitly said, you guys are idiots if you sell your Bitcoin here because it's going to moon. And that's exactly what happened. It went all the way over 100K. So yes, there's a lot of utility in comparing Bitcoin and gold together and incorporating that into your analysis. Now, as far as the dollar goes, let's see here. What is the ticker for it? I normally DI dollar DXY. That's what it is. As far as the dollar goes, the dollar did reject, you guys. If you don't know about the dollar, go look at the DXY on TradingView and you can learn a little bit about the dollar currency index. I know you guys know about the US dollar, but if you don't know about the dollar currency index, come over here on TradingView and go look at the dollar currency index. This thing is in a huge downward channel. It's been in a downtrend for a very long time, since the 70s. Yes, it's had some pumps along the way, some relief rallies where it's pumped a little bit, as you can see. But overall, this thing is in a downtrend. We just barely hit the top of that channel. We rejected really hard right here. And during that period, Bitcoin went to a new all-time high. And this thing, I believe, is going to go a lot lower here. It's going to keep going down and keep crashing. So, yeah, the dollar does not look good. It's going to have some bounces too, obviously, along the way down. Everything does. But overall, this thing is in a downtrend, and the dollar currency index does not look like something I would go long on, personally. All right, cool. Dallin has a celebrity coin. All in time. Yes, I do have my own coin. Like I said, it's on pump.fun. It's going down, but I have not sold any. As you guys know, you can look on pump.fun to see whether the person that created the coin has sold or bought. And I have not sold a single coin. I don't plan on selling any of it. It's down a little bit from where, you know, its peak market cap was 24,000 and peak market cap. But I'm just going to keep posting on here. It's in the description of every single YouTube video I make now. It's also on my website. And I'm just going to keep getting the word out. And over time, I firmly believe, although I can't promise any financial gains due to legalities, but I firmly believe this thing will go up in value and it will see a big run. I also thought about making another coin. The max I want to have is 2, because I don't want to have a bunch of different coins on pump.fun. But I thought about making another coin called Dallin's Hat, with a little icon of my hat with a feather in it, my fedora. And just because I've been wearing a fedora since I created this YouTube channel, and it would be cool to make a coin called Dallin's Hat, you know. So that may be in the works. We'll have to see. If you guys think that's a good idea, let me know. But I do have my own coin, and yeah, I do believe that it could see some big percentage gains, although technically I can't promise any return on your investment. It's just an experiment, disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the drill. So, anyways, Digibyte. And it could, you know what, I'll just be honest with you guys, it could go down a little more here. It's still building traction. I'm not just trying to pump and dump this thing. I want it to be a long-term growth. So it could go down a little lower. You know, it could drop another 20-30%, but I'm not going to sell. I'm just going to keep posting on here, keep letting people know about it. And over a longer period of time, especially in 2026, I believe this thing could do some really big gains. Especially since I believe my channel is going to go to the moon in terms of subscribers and all of that stuff in 2026 and towards the end of this year too. So my coin could reflect that. Digibyte, yes, and thank you, AJ, for the donation, and we will go ahead and cover Bell's coin. I really appreciate your donations. Thank you so much for doing that every single time that you request. That means a lot to me. pull up Digibyte, then we'll go over to Bell's coin for you. And keep dropping your favorite coins in the chat, you guys. Keep letting me know what you want me to cover in today's stream. So, Digibyte still consolidating, still kind of a painful consolidation in terms of if you've been holding this, it feels probably kind of frustrating. But don't get frustrated. Stay patient, stay faithful, because you will be rewarded for that. The markets reward patience. That's why Warren Buffett said the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. That applies 100% to crypto as well. So if you're feeling like you've been waiting a long time, stay faithful. This thing is going to moon. It's going to go crazy. I firmly believe this thing is going to do some big percentage gains. And I don't just say, oh, I firmly believe that, just, you know, I'm not just saying that just because I want you guys to be happy or I want you guys to like these videos. Like when I say I firmly believe something is going to go up, I'm dead serious. It's not just, oh, and I don't just believe it just because I believe it. Like I have real reasons based on 9+ years of doing technical analysis on crypto markets and seeing multiple cycles over and over again, and exactly the same tricks people fall for over and over again, where they give up on their coin, they panic sell after big ABC corrections, and then the market fully recovers and goes to a new all-time high, even though everybody said it was dead, even though people thought that it was impossible for it ever to go back to the levels that it was in the last cycle, and then all of a sudden it's at a new all-time high. This is the way crypto works. It shakes everybody out of the market. Everybody gives up. Most people get cynical. Most people get bearish. Most people stop thinking logically. And they sell at the point of maximum financial opportunity, right where it's the best time to be buying. And that's exactly the case for Digibyte. It's a perfect fractal of Bitcoin back in 2015. This is one of the most powerful fractals to know about, one of the most useful market cycles to know about. And Digibyte looks really good here. Don't be surprised when this thing sees a big vertical breakout, just like Bitcoin when it went from $180 up to $500, and then starts making higher highs and higher lows, just like Bitcoin did, and starts to reverse. This is what crypto does. It makes these big, massive pumps followed by 90% corrections where everybody gives up on it. And then you see these huge volume spikes coming in. Look at that. It's the same volume spike that Bitcoin saw over here on the right. And I'm telling you, when this thing turns around, it's going to be bullish and glorious and blow people away. And people will be astonished at what's coming for Digibyte. I firmly believe that. Because of the charts, for real reasons, for real technical reasons. I don't just believe it because I believe it. I believe it because of founded data based on multiple years of doing this. How does Aster compare to Apex and Hyperliquid? I have not used the platform yet, so I can't say. I do like Apex a lot. Apex.exchange is one of my favorite platforms for trading crypto, for trading and investing in crypto. I haven't used Aster, but it looks nice. It looks really clean. It might even be better than Apex. I'll have to give it a try and see what I think. And I have never used Hyperliquid either, tech dude. Here Comes the Moon song. I would love to do that except for two reasons. I probably won't do it very often because, first of all, most of my live streams I do at my office area, where I rent an office and I come here in this nice studio room and do my live streams here. And a lot of times I don't bring my guitar, but I will plan on bringing it more because people do request. Second of all, I can only do that song. If I do it, I don't like to do it when people don't donate money, because they've donated me money and they want to give me that money as a gift. And if they give me that money and then I do if I play my guitar and play Here Comes the Moon, half of that money goes to the people that own the rights for Here Comes the Sun. So half of that ad revenue. So even I don't care about the money so much as the fact that the person that donated me that money doesn't get to see me receive half of it anymore. So it's kind of like they just threw half of that money away. So that's kind of why I don't play it very often, but I will do it sometimes. But yeah, people leave. Unfortunate. I mean, people don't realize that half of the money goes to the creator of the people that own the rights of Here Comes the Moon. Anyways, you guys get the point. Let's do analysis on Bell's coin for AJ. And I will still do it sometimes. I will still play Here Comes the Moon. And I do want to give you guys that because it gets requested a lot. But when I do, half of the money gets sent to some other company, you know. I don't care about the money. It's just I don't like to see people with the donations donating me money and then half of it gets thrown to the ethers. It's like they didn't even give it to me, you know. Let's pull up Bell's coin here for our friend AJ, who was kind and generous enough to donate some money for me to do analysis on it. It's still just consolidating down here at these lows. I'm sure you look at the chart often if it's one of your favorite coins. This is a triangle pattern down here too. So we have a triangle, which is pretty common for crypto to have these triangles before it turns around. Bitcoin is a good example of one of these triangles. If we pull up Bitcoin over here in 2018, when it bottomed out, it did one of these triangles too here. You can see Bitcoin did a triangle pattern right here as it was forming its bottom here in 2018. And then in 2019, it broke out bullish. And then in 2021, it went all the way to the moon, right? So that's a pretty common thing for crypto to do, to see a triangle pattern at the bottom of a big correction. And that's exactly what we see here with Bell's coin. Now, the other thing you can see, even if we just look at these two cycles, I know there is some differences. Like we have a lot more of a pronounced first sell-off right here, whereas Bitcoin had kind of a smaller first sell-off. But this is still a first sell-off over here on Bitcoin, followed by a parabolic run. This is also known as the euphoria phase, where the market really goes parabolic and euphoric, and then followed by a big correction or a bear market. So this is a typical market cycle on Bitcoin. And then this is the depression phase. So we have first sell-off right here, euphoria phase right here, and then the depression phase, or the bottom, the point of maximum financial opportunity down here. Perfect market cycle on Bitcoin. And that's exactly what happened over here on Bell's coin as well. We have our first sell-off right here. A little bit more pronounced, but it's the same thing. We have our euphoria phase right here, and we have our depression phase down here. So this is going to be the point of maximum financial opportunity. Also, a lot of people that bought the top would be feeling despair or depression. They'd be feeling those emotions because of how big the crash was. But that's a point of maximum financial opportunity and the best place to buy any market cycle. And that's exactly what we see here with Bell's coin. Now, the best way to find targets, like you asked for, is to use the Fibonacci extension tool. Obviously, nobody knows exactly where anything is going to top out at. You can get a really close estimate, like I have gotten really close to calling the top before, but it's very rare that you just perfectly call the exact top. But you can get estimations, and then you can scale out into those estimations and get pretty close to the top, and then keep a little bit in there in case it goes higher than you expect. Completely on the house, right? All on the house. So the trend-based Fibonacci extension tool, you measure from the bottom of the cycle to the top and then back down. Uh-oh, my computer's lagging. It's probably because I have a million tabs open on my other over on my other browser that I have minimized because I've been modding my Nintendo Wii all day. I put a bunch of mods on it so I can do a bunch of cool things like play NES games and SNES games and all this crazy stuff. So I've got a bunch of tabs open, but anyway, so you can see with Bitcoin here, we've already got to the 5.618. Most of these cycles will go to the 11.618, the 13.618, and the 16.618. That's why I believe Bitcoin will definitely hit 250K, but it could go to 400K, and it could even hyperextend a little bit higher here in a big extended fifth wave for Bitcoin. But same is true for Bell's coin. Our targets for Bell's coin would be the 11.618, the 13.618, and the 16.618. Now, those would be the absolute highest targets. If you want to be conservative, you could target the lower ones and sell more at these lower targets like the 4.618 or the 16.618. But I go for the bigger targets because here's the thing. If the market starts to look like it's topping out early, you can start to take profits early. But I like to set targets for those higher levels because with crypto, sometimes the pump happens really quick, and if you don't have your sell orders up really high, then you're screwed. And I like to sell 3 sell orders. I like to put one sell order. This is kind of my method. I like to put one sell order at the 11.618, one sell order at the 13.618, and one sell order at the 16.618. And those prices for Bell's coin, and then I keep 25% in long term just on the house because you've usually made like 40 times your money. So you can afford to keep 25% in long term completely on the house and still walk away with a bunch of profit that you've pulled out and locked in. So with Bell's coin, that'd be $20, $23, and $28 for the targets on Bell's coin. Wrapped Dog, please. Yeah, we can do Wrapped Dog. I know it's been a long time waiting, probably painful to be holding on to Wrapped Dog all this time. In fact, I know it is. It's really painful to hold on because I've been doing it. But I promise you guys that if you have the patience to hold on, if you don't fear, if you just keep holding on, I know it takes a lot of persistence and patience to hold on to something that hasn't broke out bullish yet, that's just going sideways at really low levels. But I'm telling you, you will be rewarded for it if you hold on. Wrapped Dog is a spitting image of Bitcoin back in 2015. It did the same ABC correction. It's doing the same sideways consolidation. So we have Bitcoin on the right and we have Wrapped Dog over here on the left. You can see the same ABC correction down here on Wrapped Dog over here on the left, and the same ABC correction over here on Bitcoin. And you can see how long people had to wait. Bitcoin went sideways for pretty much an entire year before it finally broke out in late 2015 and then really broke out in 2016 and 2017, right? And the same thing is true for Wrapped Dog. People have had to wait for pretty much an entire year as it's went sideways. But I believe the end of this year will be very bullish for Wrapped Dog, and 2026 will be extremely bullish for Wrapped Dog, and we're going to have a big recovery, and it could last even until 2027 and 2028. Crypto could pump until 2029, you guys. It's 100% possible for us to pump all the way even until 2029. So don't be shocked if we see something like that happen with crypto, because of the mass adoption phase and because the stock market is set up for a big blow off top all the way till 2029, like a roaring 20s 2.0. And yeah, crypto could go nuts, and Wrapped Dog I believe is going to go really bullish, especially in 2026 and even potentially 2027. And I think it's going to follow the entire crypto bull run, which could last until 2029. So just keep holding on. You'll be glad you did. Zora is a great entry. I'm glad you brought that up because I have been looking at Zora, but I haven't bought any yet. But I've been paying attention to it because it has been really doing good. It pulled back recently because a lot of stuff did, but it's been doing good. Like overall, it's been doing really good. I mean, look how parabolic that pump was in August for Zora. That was a huge pump on this coin. This is what's coming for the entirety of crypto. We're starting to see certain coins lead the breakout, but this is what's coming for all of crypto. Big breakouts. And with Zora, this is a really good entry. I'm glad you brought this up. This is a perfect entry here. We have a big bull flag right here on Zora. And this is a big wave 1 and wave 2. So this whole pump right here was our first wave. And the big correction that we just saw was our second wave. Now we're getting ready for our 3 wave, 4 wave, and 5 wave. And I think this thing is going to be very, very bullish all through the rest of 2025. Very bullish through the rest of 2025 for Zora. It wouldn't surprise me if we even see an extended 5th wave at the end of the year, because that's common for some of these altcoins to do extended 5th waves. If that happens, Zora could hit $1 and it's worth 5 cents right now. Now that's not 200 times your investment like some coins can do. Sometimes you get that type of a growth, especially with meme coins. Coins like Dog could easily do 100x in value. But it is a lot of growth, and it's a lot of growth with pretty low risk, you know, because of the amount of hype that there is. I'm trying to find that silly. Oh, I can't find it right now. Oh well. So you're talking still about 20x, you know, 20x your money from current price. It could even 20x by the end of the year. So Zora is a really good entry. I'm glad you brought that up, man. That's very glad you brought that coin up. Lil Nippy says Bitcoin Cash. Let's pull up Bitcoin Cash here, BCH. And by the way, happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for taking your time to tune into today's live stream on this beautiful Friday night. Hope you guys are having a good Friday and hope you guys have a good weekend. I'm going to cover a couple more coins here and then we'll call it a day, because I'm going to go play Nintendo Wii with my nephew. He's very excited. He was calling me on the phone before I did this stream saying, Dallin, will you please bring the Wii over? Because I modded the Wii so we can play a whole bunch of games and we can do all kinds of cool stuff because I modded it. But yeah, we'll do some Bitcoin Cash analysis here. So Bitcoin Cash is very straightforward here. Very simple. We can put it on a logarithmic chart here. And you're going to see the Elliott wave count is very simple here. We have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, right? So there's a 5-wave impulse. Then we have our ABC correction down here, wave A, wave B, and wave C. Now we've started to break out for wave 3. You can see we've started to recover here. We rejected a little bit of resistance here back down to 535, but I believe we're going to push right up through that resistance, no problem, and start to really take off here. And this is wave 1 right here, wave 2, and we're getting ready for a big wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 for Bitcoin Cash, which I believe this 5th wave will be extended and will go all the way to a new all-time high and a big glorious pump for this coin, because this is really a huge accumulation that's been going on since 2019. All of this is a big accumulation pattern, and the Elliott waves that are going to come out of that are going to be very bullish, very exciting. You can see that our previous old all-time high was around 4,200. That's right here. So our 5th wave could take us well over our old all-time high. $10,000 is right here. That would barely be above our old all-time high. So here's our old all-time high. That would barely be above on the log chart because it measures based on percentage, right? So that would be a huge, huge growth. If we go over $10,000 per coin from current price, that would be a huge growth. But it's 100% possible. I could easily see a $20,000 Bitcoin Cash by the end of this big growth that's coming for crypto. So like I said, I believe crypto could run all the way till 2029. And the reason for that is because the Dow Jones is set up to do a huge parabolic run, just like the Roaring 20s. So if you don't know about the Roaring 20s, it happened right before the Great Depression. We had a huge run up in the stock market, and the Dow Jones is set up to do a big parabolic run. It's called a blow off top, is a technical term. You can go look it up if you want to. We already had the midway cool off. That would be the COVID drop. But the Dow Jones is getting ready to do a big blow off top, just like the stock market did in the 1920s. Before the Great Depression, it had a big run. It's called the Roaring 20s. And the Dow Jones is getting ready to do that, to do a Roaring 20s 2.0 pretty much. And it could last until 2029. So we have our midway cool off right here. That coincides with the midway cool off right here on Bitcoin. All cycles have these. Every market cycle in human history, pretty much, there's exceptions, but 90% of market cycles have a midway cool off. They have a first sell-off pattern like right here, right? They have a midway cool off, and then they have what's called a blow-off top, where the market goes full force in the bull market. And the Dow Jones is set up to do a blow-off top from now until 2029, where it's going to probably double in value and then have a huge crash, massive crash. That's what the Dow Jones is set up for. So I believe crypto, because crypto has a huge correlation to the stock market and the world economy, crypto should follow the stock market from now until 2029. And it could top early, it could top 2028, it could top 2030. I don't know for sure, but the charts look shockingly similar to the Great Depression, pre-Great Depression, and during the Roaring 20s, which topped out in 1929. And it's eerily similar, and I believe it's 100% possible for us to top out in 2029, in which case crypto is going to go nuts from now until then in a bigger cycle than we've ever seen, and stocks are going to go crazy. The Dow Jones is going to double in value. Gold is going to keep going up. Silver is going to keep going up. It's going to be like a Roaring 20s 2.0. And it's going to be really fun. And crypto is going to be one of those technologies at the forefront of that Roaring 20s. And Bitcoin Cash is looking bullish from now until then. Even just looking at the chart, which I had up a second ago, that fifth wave was lining up perfectly with 2029. Look at this. This is really cool. So we have Bitcoin over here on the right, and we have silver over here on the left. And what you can see is silver is doing the same big rounded bottom here that Bitcoin did back in the day. And you can see on both of these cycles, you can see a first sell-off pattern right here and right here. Here's the euphoria phase on both of them. Here's the depression phase on both of them. And then here's the new cycle starting on Bitcoin on the right. And here's that new cycle starting on silver over here on the left. So imagine how bullish silver is going to be. And it will have corrections. Bitcoin saw 30% corrections as it started to get closer to the old all-time high right here. There was 30% corrections on Bitcoin. Silver could easily see a correction soon in the short term. But over the bigger picture, this thing is set up to run from now until 2029 very easily. Could run it all that throughout that whole period. So big things are coming. I believe a Roaring 20s 2.0 is in the works for the entire world economy. Crypto will be one of those technologies that is at the forefront of that growth and at the forefront of that excitement and parabolic movement. Can you look at Charlie? Yeah, I can look at Charlie really quick. You guys, I can't do a lot more, so please don't donate me any more money. At least not right now, because I want to go play video games with my nephew. He's excited. He's been waiting for me. But I'll happily go look at Charlie for you. I'm assuming you mean RIP Charlie here, which looks really good, by the way. This coin looks really good. We have a big wedge now. like a big falling wedge pattern on this. And we're starting to break bullish out of this wedge. This thing looks phenomenally good. I'll be honest with you, this looks really good. There's only $1 million in market cap. I could easily see a bullish breakout, and that would really confirm a bullish move coming in this coin. So watch for a bullish breakout above the top of this resistance level right here. And when we break above that level, watch for a big parabolic run coming on RIP Charlie Kirk. Looks really good, I'll be honest with you. And thank you for the donation. I appreciate both of your donations. Just scooped some up at the bottom. I'm excited. I think that was a good move, Octahedron. This looks really good here. I think it'll go parabolic and go for a move. Probably above this old all-time high over here, but definitely I think we'll see a breakout up through this resistance and start to see a big move here on Charlie. Like I said, crypto looks really good as a whole. Thank you kindly, good sir. Yeah, you're welcome, AJ. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. What is up, down? Let's get it. We are almost there. Can you cover Telcoin? Yep, this is my last coin for the day. I would love to do more. I know I see a couple other people that requested coins in the chat. I would love to cover them. I'll probably do another live stream. Well, I'll definitely do another live stream next week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's check out Telcoin here. So Telcoin also looks a lot like Bitcoin in 2015, so you can compare these two charts together. You can see this is what crypto does. Crypto has these big parabolic runs, followed by big corrections, followed by painful accumulations that a lot of people give up on, and then they go parabolic. And if you look at Telcoin on the left and Bitcoin on the right, this is right here where Bitcoin started to break out a little bit here. Then it saw some consolidation right here. And if you look at Telcoin, it's really the same thing. Telcoin already started to break out a little bit here. Now it's consolidating here, just like Bitcoin right here. Now I believe Telcoin will go for a big parabolic run all the way to a new all-time high. I know I talk about these ABC corrections all the time, over and over again, but you guys, it's true. These ABC corrections are so powerful, so important to understand. If you can understand the market cycle and the ABC correction, you can make money in these markets. It's pretty simple. Like, if you can understand that, you can make money. So that's my view on Telcoin. A big parabolic run is coming. Don't give up on it. Same consolidation that Bitcoin did right here. On its way up, it has to consolidate before it goes up for another leg. And there's going to be corrections along the way up. Look at Bitcoin. But if you stay faithful, if you stay patient, you will be rewarded for holding on to your Telcoin. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's live stream. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to go play Nintendo Wii with my nephew. I modded the living heck out of my Wii. It's super cool now. So I'm going to go play the Wii with him. And yeah, again, I love you. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing every single one of you guys in future videos and future live streams. And as always, stay profitable out there.